Alright, so today we're going to take a look at life insurance and how much you should have to really make a holistic plan. Basically, if something happens to you, you're going to want to make sure your family is protected, especially if you have young ones. So in order to get to the life insurance calculator, you're going to click on the shield with two people on it. And basically, we're going to build out a scenario custom to you. Basically, it all depends on your personal values. So these are based on industry standards, but there are sliders so you can adjust however you like. So first things first, you can clean up these bars. Basically, there's only employment and self-employment income in this, but clean it up as you go. Basically, you only really want to keep track of things that you actually have. So the first thing you're going to want to do is put in how much employment income you have. Basically, maybe it's $80,000. At this point, you have to decide, do I want to leave a higher percentage of my income to give me more peace of mind in case something happens to me? At this point, then you have to decide how many years you want to give family support for. So this can be based on how old your kids are, how many years are remaining on your mortgage. There's just so many things, and this is really just personalized up to you. So let's just say they have a 5-year-old and really want to make sure things are covered until they're 18. So they're going to look at family support for 13 years. Now we have to add up all the liability. If you have a balance on your credit card, this is where you're going to want to put it there. Maybe you have a line of credit. Maybe you have a bit of medical debt. There's still $300,000 left on your mortgage. You've paid off your student loans, but you have $20,000 left on a car loan. Now you purchased a 30-year mortgage 5 years ago, so you're going to want to put the amortization left on that debt at 25 years. At this point, you can see the length of the policy is turning to a term 30. You should have a timeline that covers more than the amortization of your debt. Now, a lot of people like to tack on policies, but I'm a strong believer of one and done. Let's just stick with one policy and try to get it all done, because if you're looking to replace term life insurance down the road, it becomes extremely expensive. Now we're going to take a look at final expenses. Maybe have an education goal for your kids of saving up $100,000 so they can go to school. And it's going to cost around $12,000 to have a funeral these days. Now we have to look at where our investments are. What are the assets that we own that can cover us if something does happen? Maybe you have some money stashed away in a Roth 401k you can access with some penalties. So we're going to put $100,000 over here. Let's say you also have $25,000 stashed away in a taxable account invested. You've only saved up $10,000 in your traditional IRA, and you also have $150,000 in your 401k. Going into your savings, currently there's $5,000 in your bank account and $20,000 in an emergency fund. And then at this point, you're going to want to put in all your current life insurance policies if you own them. Maybe you have a whole life policy worth $100,000 that you bought a long time ago. At this point, the calculator's recommending a $500,000 Term 30 policy. If the monthly or annual premiums are a little bit too expensive for a Term 30, try looking at a Term 20 policy, but just know you're going to be a little bit underinsured. You're going to have a few gaps in your financial plan. So hopefully this tool will help you buy the right policy for your family and make sure you're not over or under protected.